Welcome to part 2 of Universal Design for Learning, Neural Networks. We're going to start with the 3 neural networks: the recognition network, the what of learning. This is the part that identifies objects and assigns patterns. The strategic network, the how of learning. This is the part of the brain that takes what you've recognized and decides what to do with it. And the affective network, which is part of the brain that evaluates the patterns that we recognize and give them some emotional meaning, which stimulates interest and engagement. 3 principles of UDL that we'll also be looking at are multiple means of representation, multiple means of action and expression, and multiple means of engagement. When we look at each of the principles across the 3 networks, we'll be looking at tools, activities, quotes, and lists of items that can help you meet the needs of each of the neural networks. For example, the recognition network under multiple means of representation asks you to highlight important points, critical information, by mind maps or outlines, or giving them KWL charts to start with, video, audio, PowerPoint. The strategic network asks for things like readability, which is an app used to clear up web pages so only the text, you don't have the headings, you don't have the ads, or by linking keywords when you give them mind maps or outlines or presentations, to link the keywords to the definitions or examples. Affective network, the why of learning, it can be very helpful to some students if you take a look at the universal access features available on your Mac if you're using a Mac. There's VoiceOver, Zoom, and the display can be turned to black on white, white on black, or grayscale. The second principle, action and expression. In recognition networks, the what of learning is a good way to accomplish this is through mnemonic devices, songs, and poems. And here's 2 websites to help you find some of those for elementary grades in particular. The how of learning, here's a couple of programs, Animoto and XtraNormal, which allows students to collect information and present it in different ways. Animoto will do the transitions and all of that for you. You just select a genre of music after inputting your videos, audio, and images. And XtraNormal lets avatars speak the script for you after you type the script in. The affective network, Zoho Notebook, can give students a different way to complete products and processes, and therefore they have choice, and you can make it a little more challenging for some students versus others. And the last part is to make sure you remember to set goals with students so they know why they're learning what they're learning. The third is providing multiple means of engagement. Underneath the recognition network, it's really important to know how to recognize the students and get them to recognize the what of what we are doing. Here's one video, for instance, from Common Sense Media. It says adapting elementary ESL students. So you're adapting your curriculum to fit how they learn and what they learn. Great quote from a blog that I follow. The blog post is entitled Classroom Distractions, How Can We Avoid Them? And the main point of the article is that if students are not seeing the information, they certainly can't recognize it and move on to the other neural networks. Under strategic networks, here's a couple of examples of providing multiple means of engagement. Students in VoiceThread can respond and collaborate through a telephone call, through the audio or video on their own computer, or simply typing in. Glogster allows for digital posters to be created with audio, video, photos, any graphics that you'd like. And for the effective network, multiple means of engagement, let's remember, please, if we vary their demands and their resources, we're going to optimize their challenge. And this is very important. And one example of what I do to use this particular piece is go to Web 2.0, which is an index of available tools on the web that you can use different tools, so you're going to vary those resources and demands on students. Part 3 of our session is the central role that technology plays in UDL.